Today we're going to discuss about the RPL, what is RPL, why RPL is important. The first thing is the pre-interview or pre-training, just to identify that, okay, is this person can be eligible for RPL? What we usually see, the number one challenge is that the RTO has RPL kit that are actually meeting the requirement or principle of assessment. Hello everyone, my name is Ben Thakkar and I'm a CEO and consultant from Vet Resources. Today we're going to discuss about the RPL, what is RPL, why RPL is important, what are the benefits of it, what the step-by-step process for the RPL, what are the challenges that RTO face, what are the non-compliant that usually get from ASQA related to RPL, some case study about it, and then we have created an RPL guide, a comprehensive guide that so you can get a link in the comments as well if you want to access. That will help you in-depth information to get idea how RPL works. So let's start the video. What is RPL? So RPL is a recognition of prior learning. For example, that if I have done any learning in the past about leadership, if I have any existing skill, like I'm working as a manager in any of the company, and I have other skills or any other non-accredited training, other learning that I incorporated during the previous 5-10 years, I can recognize them through the RPL process. Why RPL is important? Because RPL is also a really important way to get the skill without doing all those work that you're going to do for a normal delivery for face-to-face or online. Other importance is that it also fill the skill gap very quickly, because if the people have existing skills and knowledge for the qualification, then they don't need to do on a whole qualification, all the whole unit, and attend all those classes and do all those stuff like in a 1 year or 2 year stuff. They can recognize their skill, knowledge, and everything through RPL. This could be a relatively quick compared to you complete the whole course like 1 or 2 years. It again depend on the how skills and knowledge you have, depend on what are the gap that is in the RPL and what are the gap training you need to do. The benefits of RPL, as I said, that it can be recognize your skill quicker, so therefore you can get the qualification, so you can get the job. They can the student get the promotion or any other things. It also helps the Australian economy as well, because sometimes there's a skill need, so that way that the people get recognized quickly, and that I can also feel the skill need as well. What are the step-by-step process? The step number one is that if somebody or an RPL candidate contact an RTO, said, okay, I want to do an RPL process because I have this. So the first thing is the pre-interview or pre-training, just to identify that, okay, is this person can be eligible for RPL? That could be a basic question. Okay, what are the qualifications you have completed? What are the skills you have? Do you work in the relevant industry or not? Or so on and on. So once we know that, yes, this candidate can be done, so this interview can be done by a trainer and can also assessed by an admin people as well. The next step after that, there's an admission process or enrollment process. That in the enrollment process, we're making sure that they complete all the information, provide the relevant document, make sure that language literacy numeracy is right, and so on. So once you complete the enrollment process, then after the next step is to a formal discussion with the trainer. So with the trainer, they can discuss that, okay, what type of documentation can be utilized, It can be any qualification, it can be your skill, it can be your current experience, what are the documents that you might need to give for that, and so on and on. And that's why they give you a candidate kit, called self-assessment kit as well. So the candidate will complete all those things, write down all the evidence that they have, and then attach all those evidence and submit to the assessor. Then assessor going to check all those evidence, review all those information, identify that, okay, what are the areas that are actually the candidate is a strong, meeting those requirements, identify some gaps and so on. And then assessor contact the student about the information that they have collected. They also ask for some additional evidence if in case is missed, and then they conduct the competency conversation. So competency conversation is a very important process where, assessor going to discuss the range of question about that particular unit of competency. Just need to make it, and all those questions and in those conversations that the candidate need to explain, and assessor job is to make sure they keep a note of it, or if there is already a behavior or points already in the competency conversation kit, then they just need to tick down and put those comments there. At the end of the conversation, assessor have a clear idea that, okay, where the candidate are standing, do they need further evidence or further information, identify where the gaps are not. Then they can also get the third party evidence as well. It could be a supplementary evidence as well. It could be a primary evidence, depend on how RPL process works. And then once the third party information, you collect third party supervisor, manager, CEO, all those things. Then competency conversation, where technically assessor discuss with the candidate about the question they ask about the relevant unit, and then the candidate need to answer how they do it in a current situation, or what are the skills and experience they have, and that's what they assessor then need to complete the competency conversation kit. Then also comes to the third party, and then also practical demonstration kit, where the candidate may need to do some sort of demonstration to the assessor just to make sure to identify all those parts. After this, that assessor gonna find out that, okay, is there any gap training required, it could be achieve RPL or not, and so on and on. They map with it and submit and complete the relevant form. So that's the process, that step-by-step process that happen. What are the challenges? That what we usually see, the number one challenge is that the RTO has RPL kit that are actually not meeting the requirement of a principle of assessment. So for example, that the competency conversation kit that's been created, it has some question that actually not right. They're talking about the future stuff and things. They doesn't have benchmarking information for this question, so it doesn't get the consistency between different trainer, and every trainer can do different things. So that's a common challenges we have. The second part is again the observation kit. The observation kit, there's the project or task that's not well defined, instructions are not clear, and those observations are also not observed behavior or not in depth, or doesn't cover in-depth information. Therefore, those are the challenges that also can lead to a non-compliance as well. The other challenge is that the lack of understanding of how RPL works, and what we see that sometimes the assessor or RTO does not provide that the relevant information how RPL work, what are the process this for RPL in this RTO, what you need to collect, what are the evidence that we look for. Another challenge is that also that the admin people doesn't know what to do with this RPL. How do you need to process, what needs to be done. So those are some internal policy procedures and learning that we feel that those are the challenges that we. What are the common non-compliances? That's why you see that in ASQA's the risk priorities for 2024-2025, the RPL is also one of the important area that ASQA is focusing. Because of there's a range of reasons, there are the RPL not done properly, RPL, evidence not captured it properly, and so many other areas, which we will do it maybe another video rely on that. What we see the major non-compliances is number one is the RPL kit is not right. Like I said, it's competency conversation, the observable behavior and observation kit is not right. Therefore, it leads to non-compliance. Second is that the evidence that is collected is not sufficient. So the assessor made a judgment, but they can't prove that how this cover this performance criteria, the knowledge evidence, and the unit requirement according to the training.co.au. The other non-compliance is that that has as the mapping document is not right. The mapping or evidence that against the mapping is also not correct. The other non-compliance that we get is for the instruction that given in those steps are not clear as well. Therefore, it can lead to a confusion. The resource that required for observation was not clear, who's going to provide, and there are a range of other things there. So how to solve that? So to solve those non-compliances, number one, make sure you have a good RPL kit that cover all those aspects and points. Second thing is make sure that we train the trainer and admin what evidence and thing needs to be covered to make sure, and how you link with the mapping document. And the third thing, you have a good sound checking system just to make sure that whatever RPL being issued, that actually that's meeting all the criteria. We have created an RPL guide, so it has in-depth, I think around 20 to 30 pages. So where we discuss about all of those each step in detail. And if you want to check it out, we'll put it in the comment section as well. So that's about RPL. If you have any question or stuff, you can put it in comments. And just want to say thank you for watching this video. If you have liked this video, please subscribe or share with someone who you think that could help. Thank you.
Contact our team to make your RTO an exemplary model for delivering new age learning.